Manga-Waido.
My name is Kazuki Harayama. I'm 35 years old. I grew up with my mom after my father passed when I was still a baby. We lived in a tiny apartment with little to have, but I never felt like it was a problem. I think it was because of how bright and positive my mother was. My mom worked at a nursing home. It was a pretty tough job with at least 1 or 2 night shifts every week. No matter how tired she was after a shift, she always cooked me homemade meals.
Thank you for your food. Eat up. Your happiness is my happiness.
I knew that I couldn't make her disappointed, even as a child. I knew that I had to work hard. After graduating middle school, I started looking for a part-time job. I had to make some kind of income and support my mother financially. Cleanup. I like that. I can work at my own pace. I'm not good with people and I like cleanliness, so this job was perfect. There was someone who would always ruin my day. Tanimura, my classmate. Yo, Kazuki! You cleaning toilets at your part-time job again? If you want, I can let you wipe my toilet too. Tanimura's family was quite wealthy. Apparently his grandfather was a doctor and made it big on insurance sales. And he was just such a rotten guy, and he would only talk to brag about how rich he is. Discounts? I never buy things on sale. Those are for poor people. It's a little annoying when your parents are CEOs because there's always people coming in and out. They keep greeting me, and there's just an unlimited amount of gifts that keep rolling in. Among other things. He would brag even though he himself hadn't accomplished anything. This is an Omega watch. He just wanted to show everyone how financially well off he was compared to them. I would always get teased or bullied by people in his group. If you're that good at cleaning toilets, you should be able to clean with your bare hands. Right, Kazuki? Why would you buy me bean bread? If I say buy me bread, I obviously mean chocolate! I didn't care what he did. I made sure he knew it didn't faze me. If I did something back, he might affect my mom, and I couldn't have that happen. However, there were days that I couldn't handle it. He just keeps doing whatever he wants, and here I am having to deal with it. When I told her how I felt, my mom held my hand and cheered me up.
I'll contact the school, okay? You're not alone.
Maybe that helped him slow down for a little. But we kept working at it as a team. My mom worked, I studied and worked hard at my part-time job. We both did what we could. It was when I was in junior high school. The nursing home that she had worked at was going to be under new management. But there's just nothing we can do in our powers sometimes. The facility will be under the Tanimura group?
Yeah, something called an M&A. I knew the management was having a pretty tough time keeping things running.
Apparently they had been bleeding money and it was tough getting new employees. They didn't even have anyone to take over the business. Then the Tanimura group bought out the company. Not a bad thing. The problem was who was buying them out. My very own mom would be working under the company of Tanimura. I felt like he was going to do something bad. My gut was right. Tanimura immediately knew about the purchase. You better respect me even more than before. If you fight back, I'll fire your mother in a heartbeat. Tanimura started up again, as you can imagine. It all started up again. However, all things must come to an end. The day of my graduation, Tanimura talked to me. Hey, Kazuki. After you graduate, you should work for us. I'll use you and your mother. Yeah, you must be crazy if you think I'm gonna work for you. I was bold because my boss had admitted that I had worked hard. He asked me to become an employee, but this made him even more angry. Excuse you? You have the audacity to turn me down? I don't know what the angry Tanimura did, but he forced my mother to quit. I'm sorry, Mom. It's because I pissed him off.
It's not your fault. I figured I'd quit anyway. I could just find another job.
I was saved by my mother's kindness again. After I graduated, I started working as an employee at the cleaning company and started learning how to clean things again. I've heard great things about you. It's incredible what you've achieved considering your age. I look forward to working with you. Thank you, sir. The cleanup industry was growing, and according to my boss, many employees go on to start their own companies. There was always a shortage of people on site. I just worked as much as I could. I didn't care how bad it was. I never turned it down. I got there first and left there last. I wanted to make sure the customers were satisfied. A few years later, I was invited to go to a high school drinking party one day. When I went there, "Yo, what's up, Kazuki? You're late." It was Tanimura's marriage party. I remembered getting something in the mail about it. I, of course, turned down the invitation. My classmates kept apologizing to me in the back. They were probably ordered by Tanimura. I was about to leave because I didn't want to deal with it when... "Come on, don't be like that." Tanimura started talking to me. Apparently he was doing well after taking over the Tanimura group. "I bought a new car the other day, a Cadillac. You want to take a ride on it?" I laughed when I heard this guy's yearly pay. I was actually impressed with how someone could be satisfied with that amount of money. Apparently his wealth didn't round him off. It made him even worse. That's okay then. I could play that game too. I actually had some trade business as a side gig, and it's going well. My office is actually in Marunouchi. I'll show you my office if you ever want to see. Really? What a coincidence. My office is actually in Marunouchi too. Everyone was visibly shaken by my words. Huh? Seriously? Where? What kind of work do you do? I'm in the cleanup industry. They all started laughing after they heard me. Cleaning industry? You still do that? And you call yourself a man? I knew you did that as a part-time job, but you still do that? That's pretty impressive in its own right. I felt like this industry just really fit my personality. I had the expertise and the connections, so I started my own company. Tanimura continued to berate me and kept laughing. You're hilarious! You literally clean toilets for a living! You're pretty screwed, man! Really? I think I made the right choice capitalizing on my expertise. Then let me see your dinky little office. Sure, I don't mind. I'm okay whenever. Okay, then I'll swing by next week. Afterwards, I invited him to my office and... What? This is your office? It was no surprise that he was shocked. The company office was located in the middle of all the biggest business buildings. It wasn't just a nice building, we had cleaned it from corner to corner, being in the cleaning industry and all. This is our main branch. We have franchises around the country and... Tanimura really wasn't listening to anything I had to say. I just kept talking. We do everything from housekeeping to organizing furniture for people who've passed away. We really do it all. Our professionalism and excellence spread far, and we received job offers from everyone, including celebrities. Business was booming. We actually started really succeeding recently, and I now make almost $300K a year. Show me your office. You're in the Marunouchi area, right? 300,000? Yeah, another day. Of course, I knew that day would never come. Tanimura's side gig was not successful at all. According to my secretary, Tanimura was fired from his parents' insurance firm. He apparently used company money in Vegas. Afterwards, he was invited onto a startup trading company. They apparently import goods from Thailand, and they are barely squeezing by.
However, I heard that the area Tanimura is responsible for is a little suspicious.
It was just as my secretary had suspected. Tanimura was later arrested for illegal imports from Thailand. Mink import, huh? It was used by the company to run an illegal business. A few years later, he showed up begging for money. I'm begging you. We're both business owners, right? Can you invest a little in my next big company? Tanimura was also using his parents' connections to find other investors. When I heard how he wanted to run his business, I was filled with pity. Tanimura, that's literally a crime. You can't just bank on our money to bail you out. Tanimura kept trying to launder money. I have to contact the police now that I know about your plans. Police? Please, no! I'm begging you! Kazuki! Mr. Kazuki! Yeah, not my problem. Tanimura's illegal affairs were brought to light and he was arrested about half a year later. He really did only have his parents' money. I don't care though. It's just background noise. I had to focus on my job.